Kind of stuck on the second one a little bit too much. I left it down. You hit it a little too long. You know what I mean? Left it down on the.
Your story. You can run with it.
Yeah. But welcome into our local Loosey Goosey show here in Halton Hills, Ontario, Canada. Hot den of inequity, romance, and danger, of course. And there's not much going on this week, so we're going to be talking about different things. A little later on in the show, we're going to tell you more in detail about what the radio side of it is and what we're trying to do with the music and everything else.
But
of course,
we can't give away too much.
No. We got a big summer planned, don't we?
Well, it's starting. Let's just say that we have some events that are coming up, two or three.
The car show we're going to be involved with this summer, I think. Wasn't I supposed to say anything about that?
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I love being in a parking lot and discussing rock and roll, listening to rock and roll with people, being around cars. I mean, what more paradise would you really want as a guy?
We had so much fun last week.
Last year. You remember how much fun that was?
With Grammys and the Optimist Club at the Classic Car Show at Mold Masters. And we are looking to be there, and more than once this year. I'll be talking with Grammy, and we'll kind of figure that out. But
it's a great. This is a car town too. There's cars everywhere.
Oh, and it's funny where I'm staying right now. I'm helping out with a family member, as you know, and out in Curtis. And it's so funny because when I talk with family there, and they've been there for like 50 years easily, right? And they're always talking about the car show, and they used to love the classics. They're all shut down out there.
Are they?
At least the ones they used to go to all the time. Yeah. Well, other than COVID, but we're talking in general. Really? It's been a handful of years that they have not had any classic car shows. Now, that being said, maybe they're not aware of some, but the ones they typically would go to are no longer.
Well, that's one thing for sure.
Right?
We've got our fair share of car shows. We've got the big one in the summer, of course.
Right. And it's been here for years.
Yes.
A lot of them, right?
And it rocks. And then we've got, of course, Grammys putting it on. I believe, is it at Mold Masters parking lot again this year?
I believe so.
Sure.
I believe.
We'll let you know.
That's why I said I don't want to talk too much about the events that are upcoming. We have another one in the works, which we'll fill you in on as the details become more clear and we start getting it out there.
And that involves our oldies station, FM108.ca.
They both do because it's classic cars. They don't want to listen to.
Yeah. They don't want to. They want
the old classics.
They don't want to hear Pearl Jam. They want to hear Mark Denning and Teen Angel. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of guys that own these classic cars that are upwards to our age or older even.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're not necessarily going to be into like the 90s, 2000s type of thing. So we got to go back. We got to dive back.
Now, as we mentioned before, the program, of course, is heard or seen across our YouTube channel. And it's seen usually on Saturdays, right? We upload it, and all it is basically is a show about our hometown and what's going on, putting all this stuff, that we'd like to thank the Independent for the sources as well as Halton Hills today. And of course the Halton Police. Because we need all these sources to piece everything together.
Well, and one of the things, I don't know if you saw the post, you probably did. You see our posts on our page more than I do.
Yeah.
But I know there was a post where someone was commenting about not being able to see a lot of the local news anymore.
Sorry, I had to sneeze.
That's all good. Bless you.
Thank you.
But they were commenting that, it's hard. They don't see a lot of the news now because the Independent's not delivered to their door. So, and people all stated, Halton Hills Today, Independent, go online and watch us. Yeah. Now, we don't give you everything. Obviously, the obituaries or other things that are going on, we're not covering.
Yeah. We're not going to cover
Go online.
But,
go online. Yeah. They're there, both of them.
And, of course, as well, the town of Halton Hills and the school boards, and we have many sources when we put this show together. So we'd like to thank everyone for allowing us to use their, material, and especially the Independent and Halton Hills Today. And I must admit, I'm very impressed with Halton Hills Today. The stories,
Yeah, me too.
The gang,
Me too.
they're old school. They roll up their sleeves. They get into the community,
And it's right away.
Yeah, I mean we can
Right
do
away.
that, but to a certain extent because there's only two of us, right? But all right, so we're brought to you by Max Tires, 905-873-9255, the absolute best prices in tires anywhere, and that comes from Sean and Rob, the owners. And you go in and see him. He's got all these sexy all this sexy tire stuff in the showroom there. And it's a beautiful showroom.
Leave it to a guy to consider tires sexy.
Yeah, well, they are.
It's just
The smell of tires is sexy. The new tires, come on, it's awesome.
No.
That's a guy smell. And
I think that's why I said it's a guy thing.
of course, Max Tires as well. They are licensed mechanics. We have Jamie, we have Smudge, Mike, and the gang all down there working hard for you. And they even have a nice little TV there and a beautiful couch where you can relax while we're working on your car. So there you go. Now, I don't know, should I say get rid of your snow tires yet? No. I'm not. This is Canada, man, and I don't care what you say. We've only had 2 snowfalls all year. Do you realize that? 2.
Well, the last I
that
saw,
I consider.
and I haven't looked at the weather really going forward for a few days, but at one point they were showing possible snow again, but not lots, 1 to 3 centimeters, like little bits. But
you always get bit in April. This is Canada. I know things are changing, global warming and everything else, but it's still Canada and it's April.
don't even get me started on this global warming.
Well, I don't even.
And carbon tax, and anyways, that's another show. We can do that another time.
How much is that going to be added to our gas?
23% is going up April the 1st.
What does that mean if it's like a $20 gas?
Again, we'll talk about this another time.
As if
Don't
it
get me
expensive
started.
already, you know what I mean? There's some nice little stickers down east that they put up with Mr. Trudeau, which says, I caused this on the gas pump site.
Well, you know what, though, there's a massive, just like the convoy. I don't know if you've seen it. Mm-hmm. I've had a few people add me to the page, well over 130,000 people now. They are going to be at all borders, and they're not looking to impede and cause problems to any degree. Mm-hmm. And they've said make it very legal, and handle it well. But April 1st, and I've also seen many things come up that they're trying to get people, if they can possibly fill up before the 1st, and don't get gas unless you have to. Obviously, people working may have to. But there's all kinds of things going on. This country is really starting to fight back.
Yeah,
I don't know how much it'll work because protests don't always do anything, but they're not planning on leaving. It's the same as the convoy. They're staying at all the borders and overpasses, but they're staying. They are not supposed to be going anywhere until something changes. So I don't know anything about
politics. I know as a news guy, I report on it. I'm not an expert on the subject.
I have opinions.
I don't want to put Trudeau down, but he's not a very popular guy.
Well, that makes one of us.
He's not a very popular guy. I have to admit that, and I'm not saying that because I don't like him.
I'm saying
that. I'm saying that because I don't like him. But anyway, what I'm saying is, from a journalist point of view, you look at it and go, "Oh God, Justin, you better step down, man, because you're not gonna."
That's the nice thing about doing our own radio show and not being connected to other authorities.
Yeah,
we can voice our opinions and be loosey goosey with some of this stuff.
But I think our opinions, just like our Canadian, basically, we've had enough, and that's enough. You know what I mean? My brother can't stand him. Keith, hi Keith, if you're watching.
Listen.
His Facebook page, and he comes up with some great stuff. But he's not a big Trudeau fan. Just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, well.
All right, can I move the top story down one, and I'll give you the independent story. But this one here is the top story. A man charged with arson following a fatal Georgetown house fire has now been charged with stealing from a vehicle. In a press release, they let him out. You knew that, right?
Oh, I've seen it's been all over our pages. Yeah. Yes, I'm very aware.
In a press release, Halton police said that Christopher Dayfoot had been arrested on March the 5th and charged with theft under $5,000. They noted the charge is in relation to a theft from a vehicle that took place in the area of Ontario Street and College Street. That was January 24th at Georgetown. Dayfoot, of course, is already facing a charge of arson having disregard for human life following a February 7th fire at a Victoria Street residence in Georgetown. A woman who I knew, not well, but I knew her, some fans driving by. A woman who police have identified as Dayfoot's common-law partner was pronounced dead after firefighters pulled her from the burning home. She was a nice gal. Didn't know her that well. Very pleasant lady.
She was well known, though.
Yeah.
Nicole was very well known.
Yeah, very well known in town, and it's sad. It really is. Dayfoot has been since released from police custody, and they released the guy, and is to appear at a Milton court April the 15th. Anyone with information regarding the theft investigation is asked to contact Halton Police at 905-825-4777, extension 2416. Tips can also... Hi there, folks. Tips
Lots
can
of
also...
those right now.
they're they know we're on the air. Tips can also be submitted anonymously to Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS or through the web at haltoncrimestoppers.ca. And you want to roll that one back up there.
Yep.
Now, I don't want to get too much into it, but to let the guy
right now,
out...
that's blowing up around town. I mean, and understandably, to have as many charges as this guy has had, he's sitting out at the dollar store panhandling. And I am talking about it because it's, as I said to you, it keeps coming up on our Facebook as well. And whatever we don't know, of course, you just go on to Tell and Sell it, you're going to find it out. But it's disturbing.
Yeah.
And this is happening all over the place now. This isn't just here. This is... So are they just very overwhelmed? I'm beginning to think that's part of the problem because of what's been playing out everywhere.
Well, and that's another thing that I wanted to talk about is the homelessness situation here in Halton Hills. Is there's a lot of homeless people now.
I can remember we might have had one or two, maybe.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, but
and
now we've got and the real sad part of it is that these are young kids, like I consider kids, 25, 30 years old.
How can they afford to live?
And I really feel for them, and thank God for Knox Church. You guys do a bang-up job of getting our people off the streets in the middle of the night.
And the food banks.
And the food banks, of course. And this is a great community because we always get together and help each other out.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. And one other thing is that through our pages, it's been beautiful. For the most part, when it's not a scam or a hack job, but for the most part, when somebody really needs something, if Katie or I post some stuff up or whatever, the community, at Christmas time, we had 9 families, I think it was approximately, and not one of those kids went without. They actually probably did as good as they'd ever do at a Christmas. So thank you, Georgetown, Acton. You guys are amazing. You're really helping each other out where it's needed. And keep up the good work. The
Tell and Sells are remarkable because, and not only our local Tell and Sells, the local media, especially on Facebook, in communities, is very important nowadays because we find lost dogs, lost cats, lost parrots,
lost wallets.
How many
keys?
How many times on the Tell and Sell do you see it? I've got them over here.
And the money's still in the wallet. And these times, Dave, that's a shocker.
Yeah, and it really is because that would test even the most religious human, to get a money.
Karma's not nice, though. People
no, it
know
isn't.
This, I think.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Karma is not nice at all, as a matter of fact. So I'll let you get on with we got a new
article
deputy.
From the Independent.
Yes.
So the Halton Regional Police Service has a new Deputy Chief of Police. In a press release issued Monday, March 25th, the service announced that Halton Police Superintendent Kevin Mayer had been appointed to the Deputy Chief role. Congratulations! According to the release, the police board approved the new Deputy Chief position in February in response to the growing needs of the service and community. Only candidates from within the Halton Police Service were considered, the board said. And I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Did you see we got a new helicopter coming for Halton Region? Not just Halton Hills, but...
No, I didn't see that.
There's
I did hear about what Ford did with his...
It was our Tell and Sell again.
With his recent budget, I did see what happened.
Well, I think because, again, like they said, because it's needed.
He's ignored several things.
Well, we won't talk about that either.
It's nice to have a helicopter.
But it's Halton
Don't get me
Region. It's
wrong.
not just Halton Hills. It is Halton Region.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's there when it's needed. And I think, again, in due to what's been going on, just like was said with the new deputy chief.
Yeah.
Same thing. We got so much stuff going on. We need that. Got to get there quick, I guess. And
Yeah,
what
and
needs to be
you know
done,
what it
right?
really does is it takes the police off of the highways where they could cause an accident because they're chasing.
Well, that was the
somebody.
other complaint, is that they've
know.
had detectives or undercovers not almost getting into accidents with people. So, hey guys, you know what?
Well, that
You
old-
guys got to watch what you're doing too.
the O.J.
No ill
Simpson, the
will
O.J.
here.
Simpson thing was the classic helicopter view of somebody trying to get away. Remember that?
The highway, they're
Yeah, but that's
SUV
the
is
amazing
he's
thing about
driving.
helicopters. They can get you can't hide
Boom.
anymore.
No.
You're
Well, and
there.
drones and everything else they've got. Anyways, what's going on with Halton Hills today's new report?
New report from Halton Hills today here. During its Monday meeting, Halton Hills Council awarded a tender to Verley Construction Group for a little over $1 million to erect a building that will house washrooms, a concession stand, a meeting space and storage areas in Trafalgar Sports Park. The facility will soon be built centrally between the parking area and baseball diamonds at the large park located at the corner of Trafalgar Road and 17th Side Road. Pardon me. That's a great park. I like that. It's a lot of space, a lot of greenery, and hats off to the town of Halton Hills who take care of it, of course. Currently, portable toilets are rented each season for the park from May to November. But, I mean, it's a nice park like that. You should have a nice building, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The town received 19 bids for the work, with some coming in around double the $1.2 million plus tax that the council approved. Verley Construction Group was selected as the lowest compliant bidder of the bunch. In addition to town funding, the Georgetown Slow Pitch League donated $50,000 last year that will be put towards the building, and committed an additional $10,000 for the project this year. That's according to a staff report on the topic. So it's a nice park. We should get, I guess, constructed. Did they say they're going to start that soon, or I didn't say, really, did it?
Well, they're still just in the works, as it shows here.
Oh,
They're saying-
public consultation was held with groups that use the park to come up with the building's design. So there you go.
And you know what? Here's another thing that many people are complaining about. As I'm sure you know, a lot of people take their dogs there to run and play, and like a lot of our trails, they're complaining that it's getting really bad, because kids are out there to play in the field and right by the soccer nets and everything else. These people are out there. They're allowing their dogs to run, go to the bathroom, and do nothing about it, and they leave. So either the bags are being left full and they're scattered altogether. I've seen some photos people have taken, or again, people don't do that. Our kids are out there. They're going to be playing very shortly. They will be out there playing soccer and all the other things that go on there. You got to pick up your little fur babies' doo-doos. Please, don't leave it there.
No.
In a bag or out of a bag.
And if you want your dog, and I can understand, because I've got dogs. I mean,
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I've had dogs all my life.
Me too.
When you take your dog out, you like the dog to feel free and run around and play a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what they're there for. But that's what the dog parks are there for. Right?
Well,
So go to the dog park.
But the whole thing is it's okay, though, that they've got big open fields, but respect that.
That's right.
We don't need our kids out there slipping like on a banana peel, but it's not a banana peel.
I mean, there's nothing
So-
wrong, with letting your dog around. As long as you see there's nobody around. I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm going to say it. As long as there's nobody around, you take your dog for a walk, let them have a little run around. As long
they
as
do,
they're not
though.
hurting anybody or there's nobody coming.
But that's why they go there, is they
and
do
then
let
put
them
their
run.
leashes back on and take them home.
But they do. I remember the summers, they've got their toys, they throw the balls, and that's awesome, because there's a big open area, and it's when there's nobody in the park actually playing, usually, for the most part.
Yeah.
But clean up the mess.
Yeah.
That's the most important. Anyways, on to the next.
All right.
Halton Regional Police are investigating after the door of an Acton home was smashed in Monday morning. Halton police say around 9:15 a.m., March 25th, a resident on Somerville Road heard multiple knocks at the door but didn't respond right away. As the resident was walking toward the door, police say it swung open after the suspect used his shoulder to break through the lock. The suspect saw the resident, turned, and fled from the home. According to police, nothing was stolen, and the resident sustained no physical injuries. The suspect is described as male, approximately 5'10", 20 to 30 years old, with dark hair, a slim build, and tan skin. He was seen wearing dark-colored clothing. Police say the man fled in a sedan driven by a second suspect. Now, apparently, from what I've been reading on the internet again, so this is hearsay, this isn't the only one that happened within the span of the week. There was others as well.
A couple other break-in possibilities, and that's right in town. That's Somerville. That's not out in the boonies. That's
Nope.
That's right in the subdivision.
That's
by
getting
the high
pretty brazen. And it's happening more often when people are home and in bed.
Makes you wonder about the state of our economy and wondering about, are people starving to death? Are they going to extreme measures? House invasions are not normal, and all of a sudden we're getting them.
Well, like I said, and unfortunately, and this is nothing against Brampton, Mississauga, Toronto, most people get their backs up on our media pages when something is mentioned. There have been one of our people in conjunction with these groups of people doing things, but be aware that the majority of them are coming from out of town. Like the human trafficking and whatnot. In my opinion, a lot of that's happening because they can have a lot of influx of traffic of people coming and going, I'm assuming with or without children or whatever, and not really be seen out in a rural property as opposed to being in the city.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
That can be pretty, it's a lot more private, and they can carry on their business much more efficiently because there's nobody seeing what's going on an ongoing basis to report it. So it's happening out this way in this time much, much more at this point.
Did we mention that Mandy is not here? I'm sorry.
No, we miss you, Amanda. No, we didn't. We didn't, but she's tied up today. She has some things come up that she has to handle. So maybe next week we'll see her.
Of course, she's on the air every afternoon, weekdays. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. We're gonna do a whole 5-minute skit on what's going on with the radio, because that's why that's our main source is the radio, right? And let's have a look. What's happening on Saturday? Is it my turn? You want me to talk about it? Well, of course, Happy Easter. We haven't said that yet. It's Happy Easter.
Well,
we're recording
it's Happy Good Friday today.
Yeah. Well, isn't that Easter?
Well, it is. But Easter Day is not Easter Day. But
it's
Easter weekend.
I have Life of Brian all ready to go tonight. And get in the spirit of things.
I'm like the Bunny Scrooge this year. I'm not doing a lot.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. All right. Saturday, what's going on? The free Easter egg hunt. March 30th, starting at 10 a.m. at Georgetown Chrysler. Great folks, by the way.
Yeah.
At 336 Guelph Street. And join the Georgetown Chrysler team for their first annual Easter egg hunt. They're a bunch of big kids over there. Time slots are available at 10 a.m. 10:45 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. for children aged 2 to 8. For the kids, you can give them a call, 905-877-0149. And we had the highest ratings we've had on this video is when we were at Georgetown Chrysler, right?
That was one of the highest,
Yeah. And what's the name of the sales person that we know?
Craig.
Yeah.
Craig Norheim.
We should say
hi Craig.
Hi to Craig. And I see him commenting.
and what's her name? Oh, the girl that came on.
Gal.
She was a newer
everybody
one.
was so friendly there.
She was just hired on, and she was on the show with us. Nicole? No.
I'm not sure.
I'm so sorry. We don't know her, so I'm.
But very, very sexy showroom, don't you think? Oh God, you know what I mean. You could eat off the floor in that place, and just the sexy cars and the sexy salespeople. They're gonna kill us. All right, what's going on at the library?
So, I'm going to assume March the 30th from 10 a.m. to noon, which is what? Tomorrow.
Saturday?
That's tomorrow.
It's all Saturday.
Saturday, yeah, okay. Halton Hills Public Library, Georgetown, and Acton branches, so at all of them. Drop into your nearest library branch for Learn, Play, and Grow. A new theme is explored each week with activities that promote positive child development. This drop-in program is geared to children up to 5 and their caregivers.
They do a lot of work for the community, the library.
Oh, they're all busy over there. It's every day we have stuff because we have them. They post right on our page, and my goodness.
Yeah. Don't forget, by the way, if you want to check out what's going on in town, it's the Halton Hills Online events and information
and events.
Streaming, the streaming group, and you'll find out what's going on, and lots of stuff going on. Happy Easter once again. Easter and Holy celebration, March 30th, Saturday, from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Norville United Church, 14015 Danby Road in Georgetown. Isn't that a beautiful building? Gorgeous building. Enjoy an egg hunt, crafts, a colorful run, and lots of fun. Delicious food options will be available for purchase as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Tickets are $5 per person or $20 per family. Can be obtained by emailing aditee, ADITEE 05 at yahoo.com or just give them a call, 647-871-3551. Proceeds, by the way, will be donated to the Georgetown Hospital, so that's a good cause.
That's okay.
And then we've got the Easter market Saturday from 12 to 3 p.m. at St. Elias Ukrainian Catholic Church. That's at 10193 Heritage Road. Come shop for homemade and hand-decorated Easter breads and Ukrainian Easter eggs, pierogies, cabbage rolls, gifts, and Ukrainian embroidery. There will also be a lunch cafe and church tours as well. And what's going on in Alton? I see this.
We have something going on in Alton. Alrighty, March 30th and 31st, so Saturday and Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Alton Legion. Meet the Easter Bunny and receive a treat. Have your face painted and bounce on the huge bouncy castle or slide combination, or I guess it's.
Should I get into that?
Castle and slide. I was just thinking that.
You were just
see you out there bouncing around.
In the bouncy castle?
Yeah.
Don't laugh so hard. You're hurting my feelings.
Miller's Meat will be serving up tasty meals, and there will also be shortbread. Baked goods and beverages at the Legion Bar. We were just talking about sweets before we came on.
And I was wondering where the Easter Bunny was right now. He's going to be in Alton, so now we know where he's been hanging out, up in Alton. All right, this is original. I'm going to. The mayor's report is published.
I usually share that. I haven't gotten it up.
But I'm going to go through what she says because I find it interesting, and maybe we should start taking apart her report as you
Careful.
know. No, I'm not taking it. No. I mean, just taking her report and telling you what it is.
Yeah, you know what? Shame on me. I've never missed a month. This is the first time I haven't put it up, but I've been a crazy week.
You can get Mayor Ann Lawler, of course, by going to the Halton Hills Town website, and her report is right there. So this is what her report says for March. Where is the housing? The March 25th meeting of Halton Hills Town Council gave rise to a classic debate about housing, where it should be built, how dense it should be, and whose opinions or policies are more important when Town Council makes a decision. Responding to a town staff proposed Stewart Town secondary plan, a member of a newly formed residents association presented the view that expansion of the Stewart Town hamlet should limit the number of new homes to 5 units per hectare, a density which is like the very large lots currently in the area. The association member argued that the semi-rural character of the existing neighborhood should be maintained, that traffic should be minimal to maintain the quiet and safe atmosphere. On the other hand, a lawyer representing the builder who owns the expansion lands suggested that the town staff proposal of 8 units per hectare was too low, that the market demand and the provincial policy direction for housing both point to many more homes that should be allowed on the site. He cited the as-of-right low-density policy, which would allow 20 units per hectare, and noted that the builders was leaning towards low or medium density designation for the lands within the Stewart Town secondary plan. Following questions, councillors decided to support the staff recommended compromise of 8 units per hectare is the density that would be applied to the new development. The Commissioner of Planning noted, though, that it is likely that the Ontario Land Tribunal will make the final decision. The OLT is a provincial appeal tribunal which builders and municipalities can petition when planning local decisions are challenged. The need for all types of housing is clear. Halton Hills needs homes for seniors, and we sure do, for the first-time buyers and for renters as well.
Well, and I mean, I'm going to interject again, like you said. It's not just seniors, it's 20-somethings.
Yeah.
Even early 30s. I know of a few people who are moving back to their parents' house.
That's right, and that's
they just
terrible.
Can't do it anymore.
There is a great demand for affordable, supportive, and market-priced homes. Furthermore, the province has required the town to make a housing pledge, a housing goal against which municipal, pardon me, got a frog in my throat. Which municipal success will be measured and provincial financial incentives would be paid. Halton Hills has pledged a target of 9,500 homes under construction by 2031. So the mayor is really telling us what's going on with all these new houses that are coming up. There won't be shovels in the ground in Stewarttown for a few years, she says. The planning possible appeals, then design and construction of the roads, water mains and sewers will have to be completed by the region of Halton before homes can be built and people move in. So people aren't going to be moving in there right away. Ultimately, the town is quite constrained in its control over the timing and delivery of housing. It's complex with the provincial builders, Halton region, market forces, neighbors, and town council all having a say in doing their part. So a lot of people involved in this. Municipalities do not build homes, but it seems we are expected to deliver them. And
you know what? You've had a frog a few times the last few weeks. I wonder if we bring just some of those bait worms, and if you just you eat a bait worm or something, maybe it'll quell that frog for a little while.
Yeah,
just
maybe.
a thought.
Maybe. Yeah. Ribbit. Well, you know what it is. It's
you need to drink water.
Sinuses too. Sinuses.
That time of year, the allergies are coming in.
Yeah. All I can say in radio sometimes is thank God for automation. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the radio station before we wrap her up. Sure, it's 31 minutes, 33 minutes right now.
It's pretty good.
We do have a radio station, and
do we?
Yes, HaltonHillsOnline.com.
That's right.
And we share that with FM 108 and Radio GTA, which are two music stations that support Canadian tourism and play cool tunes worldwide. Now, I'll talk about our local station. I'm on in the morning from 6 until 10 with whatever crazy stuff I find myself doing and playing. But we all play our own music. We bring in our own albums and stuff. And
well, I do a little calmer than I would normally play because of the time of day I'm on.
Yeah.
I would play a little more what Willie is playing, I think, if it was a little different.
Mike Oldfield, as opposed to something that'll bend your ears. But that's for Willie at night, of course, who gets a little heavier. We'll get into that in a moment. But I've got the Top 40 Timeline Breakfast, and that's heard every weekday morning 6 to 10. And then Leah Lywood is on from 10 until 2 with classic hits. And a lot of Canadian music, a lot of newer music as well mixed in there. So you get a nice variety.
My sister, she goes walking now. She listens to it on her phone. She's got the app on her phone that we have. And she listens to it every day. She walks the dog, and that's what she does.
It's amazing, when you look at where people are listening to us from, like South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, different parts of Canada. These are people, obviously, that either enjoy our programming or used to live here and still want to hear about home. But we have local news with Amanda every hour, and of course as well, and we talk about the Raiders when they're playing. Of course, we're not playing anymore. We were knocked out there by Leamington 4 straight.
Next year.
And of course the Halton Hills Bulldogs coming up. We're going to be covering them. They'll be starting in a few weeks. And that's, of course, is our lacrosse team. And don't forget, as I mentioned, Amanda's on from 2 to 6 in the afternoon as well, and we're reading the news. She's a very busy gal. From 6 to 7 is Moose Tracks with Canadian artists for an hour. Myself and Foster the Moose, of course. And leave that to your imagination. and local artists between 6 and 7, like Neil Cotton and Larry Melton and so on. And then Willie, the night keeper, the gatekeeper, we call him. And keep your hands away from his mouth. He's on from 7 to midnight. Specialty programs on the weekends. We have the Top 40 Timeline, the syndicated radio show that's now heard across the world on many stations. That's at 6 o'clock on Saturday, local time. 4 o'clock, pardon me. Then the Big 20, which is our new music countdown, where we take 20 songs from all genres from this week that are released. And you won't get a fresher show than that from 6 until 8 on Saturday. And then from 8 to midnight on Saturday night. And Sunday night, it's Bill Smith, our local music blogger. And of course, we have graffiti for the seniors, 6 to 9 a.m. Buddy Holly, Bill Haley, Chuck Berry, Bo Diddley, all the old stuff.
I listen to it occasionally.
And from 6 to 9, and from 9 to noon, it's our classic hit oldies from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And then from noon to 4, it's country for 4 hours. So we've got you covered on the weekends. And I guess we should wrap it up. We're running over a bit here. But thank you. Don't forget Max Tires. And we've got Fred's Towing, Easy Taxi. Don't forget that $45 trip to the airport, cash only during the week in the overnight periods.
Is that for me, right? I get it for free, right? If
you
I
get
have
it
to
for
go?
free, baby.
Okay.
No problem.
There we
no
go.
problem. All right. We'll see you next week. And thank you so much for joining us. And I'll leave you to say whatever it is that you're going to say. The end part.
Nah, I can't be bothered.
You don't want to do that anymore? Maybe it's bad karma to do that.
No, I'm just tired.
All right. Okay. Assume the position then.
Oh boy.